What up, everybody? It's me, KiNGAlpha. Hope everybody's doing great. So, guys, patch notes came out. I know I'm a little bit late, but tomorrow's the update. Why not? Just talk about the patch notes. A lot of big changes, I think, to season six. RD changes, two class hero changes, and even two class hero buffs, and even some nerfs to a lot of things, and then even some miscellaneous things that we didn't even know about. So some of these things I'm not going to really go into too much because of obvious reasons. Like, I had made a battle pass video, I made a lion store video and everything. So you guys should typically, if you guys been watching my videos, should know about that stuff. If not, just go check out my other videos on that. However, we're going to go briefly over some other things, and then we're going to just really dive into some of the big aspects that are going to be coming to and the big changes that are going to be coming into season six. So anyways, obviously we got the 3 new units, and then we got the season six, battle pass and all that stuff, all the content. So they've obviously added the shared unit XP, the ruined fief PvE, the dynamic weather, and the tavern, which I made a video about that, and that video is actually blown up. But those are some of the big changes, like actual content that is actually coming to CB, which is really nice because shared unit XP is awesome. Gives a lot more players reason to grind, even if they're veteran players. You got PvE events, dynamic weather is really going to be changing up, just the open world in general, and even regular territory war, which is going to be really nice as well. And I'm hoping dynamic weather does stay, you know, past this season. I hope it's not only for this season, because if they go back to like maybe even just little regular weather, like it's not going to feel real. It's not going to feel nice. Anyways, so we got the 3 new units. I've already went over these guys. These guys are going to all be great. So obviously the Lanchnits, they're going to be the first unit we get, and then week 2 we'll be getting the Lancers, and then week 5 we'll be getting the Rangers. So hopefully by week 5 these guys, these AI on the Rangers are going to be good, and hopefully they're not going to be so bugged and stuff. One of the big changes is season 2 units. They do have a lot of stages to them and a lot of challenges. They've now made it where it's only 6 challenges per stage instead of 8, which is great because, not gonna lie, people that were buying Keshiks before, it was basically like 40-50 bucks just to get Keshiks, because, or even more, because of the fact that like they wanted to finish it without having to do all the challenges. So at least doing 6 challenges, and they give you at least, I believe it's 3, 6, 8. Yeah, they give you 8 challenges to do. So at least it gives you room for 2 challenges that if you don't want to do those challenges, you do the other challenges. For example, people can't always make free battles, people can't always make rank battles, things like that. So hopefully this will help people unlock units better, I mean, just faster. The only thing is, I think this is only for season 2. So I don't know if they're going to do this for season 3, season 4, season 5. So we'll see what happens if they're going to be continuing. They're probably going to see and get players feedback and see, oh, are you guys like actually unlocking season 2 units now that we've lowered the stages? If not, yada yada yada. Shared unit XP, I've actually made a video on this, guys. Well, actually I did not make this video. I didn't throw it out there. But basically, you have this shared unit XP pool, which is up to 1,000,000 XP, which is really nice. You can also, when using a non-fully level up unit, he will still get all the XP, but yet you gain an additional 10% XP into the shared unit pool. And then even if you're using fully leveled up units, all the XP goes straight into the unit pool, which is really, really nice. And then obviously it's in the top left corner for your barracks, and you can choose whichever unit that you actually want to level up, how much XP you actually use, etc. So it's really nice. You can choose how much levels you want to actually level up your unit. For people thinking, oh, this is OP and everything, it's only 1,000,000 XP. If you really think about it, you can only level up like a purple unit at, I think, like past level 12. You can only level them up like 3 times, which is a lot, but you can only level them up like 3 times, and then you have to restock on 1,000,000 XP. And 1,000,000 XP is not super easy to get. You at least have to play at least, I think, 20 to 25 games, like you have to be constantly playing and using maybe even fully leveled up units and all that stuff. So just keep that in mind. It's not key and everything. So yeah. The taverns in the in the game. I've already talked about the tavern. Tavern's going to be great. And I think as well, there's going to be like limited time events and everything and quests. So not everybody's always going to be in the tavern. There's going to be people missing, going to be people, asking you to do certain things, which is cool because I hope that we can get certain new things like, more rewards. They're probably going to be giving out loads of honor, etc., like that. Anyways, campaign. So the first campaign is between the 21st to the 28th. It's only in it's territorial war in Ungaveria. Accessible is Osteria, and then inaccessible is Andadulu and Borderlands. So there we go. And then December 28th to January 4th, it's going to be, these territories are all going to open. I'm not going to go too big into this because obviously this is, you guys can see. But Ruined Fiefs are going to open on this stage 2, and then Ruined Fiefs are going to open for stage 3, which is going to be the rebuilding phase. And then Territory War is going to be announced still, is to be, considered or whatever, or, to be decided. So February 1st to February 15th, February 15th to March 15th or March 1st. And then obviously the last stage, which is basically going to be, everything going into drill mode, and then season 7's coming around. So I've talked about the Ruined Fief PvE mode, so that's going to be a new cool mode coming around. All the rewards with the lions and everything, I hope they change that for next season and they bring in new stuff. They changed the name. I don't want that they bring in this lion store and it's so amazing, and then they take it out next season and they don't implement something new, because then that would kind of like ruin the new content feel. It's like, oh man, we only got content that one time for that lion store. You know what I mean? Like, at least change it up next season, call it like tiger store, or I don't know, like, wolf store or something, and then put like different things in there and etc. Maybe like more tires and unit attires and weapon attires and stuff, like strictly to that store, so you actually have to do it that way. But yeah, this is the rebuild ruins, the clear ruins. I've talked about all this stuff. The donations are going to be really great. I think I want to see, hopefully I might do something where I do like 6 donations immediately, just so that you guys can kind of like, I'll do a video on it and I'll actually like do it during the live stream to try and hopefully test my luck with the donations. It's 6 times a week, so it should be pretty easy to actually even do it. And all the rewards that you get, especially for veteran players are going to be able to just get all their donations so fast. It's going to be ridiculous. The Lion store is looking great though. Like I said, these schematics and everything you can get, the tires, all that stuff, is going to be great. I don't think everything is going to cost bronze, because when I was in the Lion store, it only cost like to buy silver and the ale, it costed me bronze to actually buy that, which I'm not gonna lie, it's a great use of bronze, and you do need to get your lions actually up to a certain standard to unlock these, so it's gonna be pretty cool. So I'm pretty excited about that. A lot more PvE stuff coming though, which is really nice. The dynamic weather changes, big, big stuff, because of Asteria, it's hot and humid during the summer and cold and arid during the winter. Affected by the harsh winters, the entire land of Asteria is overcome with snow. So this is going to be really cool because of the fact that like it's all going to be snow. It's all, you're not going to be able to just run everywhere. Ungavaria, the northern parts are affected by the harsh winter and is wrought with snow. Summers in the south are hot and arid. Winters temperate and rainy. So like winter will be coming in and out, and it'll be raining and stuff. That's really cool. I like the fact that like at least they're bringing winter. So when you're attacking these fiefs and stuff, or you're attacking anything, you got to take weather into effect. Which I've always said that. I've always said like this should happen, like winter, like the weather should take a big effect into anything. You can't be like, oh, it's foggy that day, don't use muskets or something, or raining, so don't use fire units. And Dulu, the northern parts are hot and arid in the summer and temperate and rainy in the winter. The southern part, the desert, is arid all year. So basically it's going to be all like desert and hot and everything. The borderlands, northern parts border on Asteria, are also affected by the harsh winter. Much of the south lies on a higher altitude and has complex weather. So, the weather change is going to be, depending wherever you go, it's going to be really interesting, having to figure out what exactly you're going to be doing. Not gonna lie, this is really nice. I love the new UI that they have for the for all of the villages and everything like that. It tells you the weather, tells you the local products and everything, type at the city, access rights, the treasury, all that stuff. Like, it just has a nice better UI than usual, and even shows like the actual city, which is pretty cool. Artillery changes, big stuff. I'm gonna go over this. I'm gonna read one by one, and then I'll just be showcasing each of the stuff and talk about which ones I was like, what. So, notable changes: reduce the health and damage and ammo of uncommon, rare, and epic artillery. Reduce the central explosion damage radius of mortars and cannons, lowering overall lethality against units. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really happy for, because if you guys have ever watched me streaming and someone puts down a blue cannon or a purple cannon, and when they shoot it, they literally kill my entire unit. Like, I remember I had a whole unit of paladins, and a purple cannon literally killed all of them except two, and I was like, that's ridiculous. I was like, what? I was like, are you, like, I was like, it has that much of a rate. Like, I didn't understand if the ball hit like four of them and they all died, but it hit like two, and then the explosion killed the rest of them. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So, kind of excited about that. Plus mortars as well, because people have been spamming mortars and cannons and even regular sieges, and it's just not fun because of the fact that you're having to counter their siege. And if you don't want to use your artillery, it's like, what the hell? Like, come on. They also the reload time changes. The order has been changed from uncommon, rare to epic to uncommon. So, wait. So, sorry. The order has been changed from uncommon, rare, epic to uncommon, rare, epic. So, reduce the interval damage of high level artillery. So, they're trying to higher the lower artilleries and lower the epic artilleries. Reduce the accuracy of some artillery as they were too precise. Ballista. So Ballista was really precise. I love ballistas. But they also even reduced some of the culverins. So culverins aren't going to be just a immediately, nice aimbot shot. You gotta be more accurate with your culverins as well, which is going to be interesting. The overall damage for balance sakes improve the aim of mortars, so that's really good because at least now when you're shooting the mortar, you're going to be having a more accurate shot. It's not going to be doing as much damage, but it's still going to be a bit. This is basically not going to rely on people saying, oh, the more arty wins. So you have this arty, you're going to basically win. That's not how it's going to be now, which is really nice. Muddled out the peripheral view when aiming with artillery. This makes it more realistic and hampers players' view, which is interesting. Changes the deployment time of all artillery. So, yeah. There's the mortars basically reduced health by a lot. And damage was reduced by so much. As you guys can see, the blunt damage with a well-made blue mortar was 13,000, and now it's down to freaking 4,600. It's so much. Even the purple mortar had the same blunt damage, which obviously not a lot of units have blunt defense, which is ridiculous. So also you got the reload time reduced from 10 seconds to 9 seconds. So the blue mortar kind of got a little bit of a buff, and the ammo is now 10. Then you got reduced ammo for also the purple mortar. So the purple mortar is going to be like, dude, nobody's going to even want to buy purple mortars anymore and stuff. Well, people are still going to buy them, but yeah. The cannon, the blue cannon. So as you can see, blunt damage decreased, reload time unchanged, ammo unchanged, and central explosion radius reduced from 1 to 0.8. So it's not too much, but it's still not a huge radius than what it was before. Same thing with this. So increased reload time for both of these. The damage was decreased by the optimal cannon. Look at that, 11,400 blunt damage to now 6,000. That's ridiculous. You also have ammo decreases and blast radius, obviously. Culverins. So now culverins are not going to be, they're going to be reduced in health. The reload time is unchanged, but the reload time is also increased on both of the other culverins. So the blue culverin and the purple culverin have a 2-second increase on their reload time. Reduce the ammo as well from 16 to 12, and then from 20 to 14. So you're not going to be getting as many shots, even on the regular like green culverins. You're not going to be getting as many shots as you were before. The horizontal scatter radius is actually changed. So you got now a 0.6 increase to both the blue and purple culverins. And then the vertical scatter radius unchanged for these two, but a 0.4 increase for the optimal culverin. So they're trying to make I guess, artillery more challenging, which is really good because people could just get on artillery and then just bow 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 shoot their shots like it's nothing. So now at least you know it's making people at least be more a little bit skilled. Increase from 6 seconds to 7 seconds. So basically, all the artillery for the culverins is going to be 7 seconds to deploy. Grape shots, they are getting reduced reload time, unchanged ammo, and unchanged projectiles. The health for the blue one is actually going down, and then the reload time is actually getting increased from 5 seconds to 8 seconds. The ammo's unchanged, and the projectiles actually increased from 80 to 100. That's really nice. The increase, so the reload time for the purple one is increased from 5 to 8, reduced ammo from 16 to 12, and I mean 14, and then the projectiles are the same. Ballista, so this is the big ballista stuff that they were talking about. So obviously reduced health. Damage is not changed here, but the damage is changed for the purple ballista. Then you have the reload time increase from on the blue ballista. You got some ammo decreases on all of them, and the horizontal divergency on all of them. So basically, they're not going to be super accurate how they were before. Scorpions sadly got a nerf, which is weird because scorpions weren't really still used that much, and they had gotten nerfed all around the board. Increased reload time. They reduced the reload time of green scorpions. Somebody uses green scorpions, all that stuff. So interesting. Also, optimal watches, their health increase is up by 1,000, but their damage is reduced by 1,800. That's pretty interesting. Catapult got a nerf. I don't know why. Flaming Comet got a nerf. Siege Ballista got a nerf. And War Rockets got a nerf. So a lot of nerfs all around the board for the artillery. Poleaxe. Now, Poleaxe now did get massive changes. So it's also the radius changed from 2.5 from the user, reduces enemy attack, reduces enemy attack again. This is all level 1. So let's talk about the level 3s. So the level 3s, the radius is changed from 2.5 from the user. So that's all new, the radius. Weapon dance is going to be something pretty much used on on the poleaxe now. Reduced enemy attack by 20 for 14 seconds, and reduced the enemy attack by 40%, and movement speed by 25% for 5 seconds. So it has a 16-second cooldown. So weapon dance is definitely going to be used somewhere in there. Halberdier's Thrust. So it added an additional attack that reduces the enemy's block. The second attack also causes bleed. So there's going to be bleed damage on Halberdier's Thrust, which is going to be really interesting. Bector Corbin is getting a bunch of changes, a bunch of buffs. It has like the first attack is basically, so I'm just going to the level 3s. The first attack is 105% basic, but 1,791 slashing damage, but reduces the enemy's defense by 20% for 5 seconds on the first hit. Then it goes up by 40%, then 60% when you're going when you're hitting them 3 times. So Bector Corbin is going to be a big freaking thing to use in the poleaxe as well. Grim Harvest, we got cooldowns on the Grim's Harvest, and it also reduces the enemy's block. You got Lakabar, what, I don't know how to pronounce that. Lakabar Strike, which their cooldown is now 40%, and reduce the damage penalty when hitting multiple enemies. So the second ult actually might be pretty good to use instead of just Rough Justice. Rough Justice is getting a cooldown reduction, but this ult might be really good, especially when you're hitting multiple enemies. You actually might be able to do a lot of damage. Longsword and Shield's getting a buff as well. So you got cooldowns with Valor. You got damage increases with Martial Prowess. You got damage increases with also Paladin as well. So they're trying to give the class a little bit more damage, which I agree. I feel like Longsword doesn't really do that much damage. It's one of those like support slash like, not gonna lie, a little bit of a troll class where you're like, oh my god, if I'm trying to kill this longsword, like it's gonna take forever and stuff. Keshigs are getting a nerf, so reduce the damage of Keshigs when charging at a low speed. So these guys have to be at a high speed in order to be doing a lot of damage, which is good because people can literally just have your Keshigs literally sit there and they immediately do all the damage possible on like immediately once they charge. Reduce the damage resistance of Keshigs when charging, which is really nice because sometimes felt like Keshigs, were like they would live forever and one Keshig would come doing a return charge and just kill everything, and you're like, how did nobody hit that one Keshig? Resolved an issue where Keshigs could start running to immediately deal high damage. So they were basically bugged as well, which is interesting. The cultival or whatever interval between range attacks have been reduced by 15%. Corchins, the interval between range attacks have been reduced by 15% as well. Raton Viper's damage reduction of units affected by their poison has been increased from 25% to 25. I mean, from 15 to 25%. And the duration's actually increased as well. Raton Pikes are going to be getting a little bit of a buff, which is pretty nice. You got optimizations, obviously, and also the seasonal stores. So the blades are obviously going to be carrying over to the next seasons, so you can actually purchase new the previous tires at even a higher cost. One of the big changes that, this is all UI stuff for cities and everything that, I think a lot of people aren't seeing is, so they expanded the Valor and Firepower quest pools, which is nice. Reduced the sovereign cost to fulfill weekly quests. Nobody really should do that. Reduced the difficulty of the leadership on campaign and punitive expedition quests. But this miscellaneous stuff is really interesting. Upon dying, you can now click death info to get information regarding how you died, which is really cool. But also, upon dying in battle, units will start retreating after a 10-second cooldown. That's good and bad, because sometimes you like your units to be there because you want your units to stay and kind of fight it out or whatever. But then it's also good because of the fact that you will actually be able to keep your units alive. I think sometimes I'm spamming C to follow someone everywhere, and at least now that I know after 10 seconds after I die they're going to be retreating, it's really nice. I think that was one big thing. Also, you do get a free weekly reset for your points and stuff. I just realized this guy has 10,700 leadership. Jesus. One big thing as well is the reduced maximum respawn time in siege battles is now from 90 seconds to 75. So that's pretty good. But also as well, grouping with other players grants an additional 5% bronze, honor, and XP. So it's going to be nice that you want to make sure you don't always just play solo. I think a lot of people just play solo, like even me. But now at least knowing with playing with other players, it grants me even more rewards and stuff. So it's more rewarding to actually play in groups and stuff. Anyways, hope to see you guys later. Hope you guys are doing great. I'll be seeing you guys. Hope you tell me what you guys think about the patch notes and everything. And let's see how this season goes, man. Season's tomorrow, so I'll be seeing you guys. Deuces.